My daughter called me from her dad's house and said, "Hey, just want to tell you that I've been walking every single day with dad," and I was like, "Seriously? Because I've invited you like 10,000 times to go on walks with us and you never want to go." I was like, "Yay, great job. So glad you do that with your dad, not your mom. So cool." And then she goes, "Well, you just want to be alone, with no kids, and you don't really want kids around after 6, after John comes home." So I was like, wait a second. That's not true. Like, stab to the heart, daughter. So then when something like that happens, that inner bitch voice in my head starts up on me again. You're not a good mom. You don't spend time with them. You should have spent more time with them. You should have asked her to go on a walk just alone. You shouldn't spend so much time with your husband. I mean, whatever. And so I thought today I would talk about strategies to silence that inner bitch, because it was a long journey for me, and creating self-love and self-worth is the key. It is the entire key to attracting a badass husband. And I had to work really hard on this. I always thought I was damaged goods, and I don't know if it's my upbringing or being molested when I was a child, but that led me to believe that men only wanted me for sex, and I was damaged. I had baggage. I always thought I was too fat. I was too tall, too big, too loud, too whatever. And I had this running, lifelong, all day long, every day tape of this bitch telling me that I suck all the time. And you have to learn how to silence her. Otherwise, you don't grow your self-confidence or grow your self-worth. So I have a couple tricks of what I did. So first, you identify the one belief that is making you feel bad, right? So daughter only wants to take walks with her dad, never wants to go with me. And she says that I ignore my kids every single night, and I just want to hang out with my husband, and I don't want to deal with kids anymore. Great. Okay. So what is the underlying belief that's making me feel bad about myself? Well, that bitch is telling me I'm not a good mom. Okay. All right. Then identify that one belief, and then find factual evidence in reality that prove that wrong. Okay. What have I done in the last week that proves that is false? Let's see, I'm taping this during the quarantine, during lockdown. So we have had game night every single night. Almost every single night we've played cards together as a family. We have done puzzles together, me and my daughter specifically. I took her to drop off Chick-fil-A to her friend's house since she can't see her friends. And I think we did that twice. And so we did Chick-fil-A drive-bys, which was actually really fun. You do this distancing, social distancing BS, and support our local restaurants, and everybody loves Chick-fil-A, and so they got to say hi, and visit for a second. And so I start to roll through all of the things that prove that belief wrong. I am a good mom. And just because one little thing from a 14-year-old and her perception is that I ignore her and I only pay attention to her stepdad every night from 6 o'clock on, that's just a teenager. Teenagers' brains aren't developed yet, right? But that's a strategy for silencing those false beliefs that is spinning around in your head, making you feel bad. Secondly, do something that makes you feel proud of yourself. That is a strategy. That's the most important strategy. And that was the huge revelation when back, 6-7 years ago, when I decided I was going to be on a mission to attract a badass husband. And I knew that you have to feel like a badass when you walk out the door that day, in order to attract one. So up till that point, till my best friend's wedding, when I had the revelation, I didn't feel very good about myself. I felt less than my best. And so I was attracting men who felt exactly the same way. And so you have to change the way that you feel about yourself and the beliefs about yourself and about men. And one of the ways you do that is you do something that makes you proud. One thing. So you probably heard me talk about my boss list. As soon as I got home from my best friend's wedding, well, on the way home actually, I made a list on the airplane of the things that I needed to do, things that I've been procrastinating on that needed to be taken care of. Some really stupid, small things like, yard work and, I don't know, just dental work, and some were more, major things. But I wrote them all down, and I call it my boss list because, I don't know, I guess I could call it a badass list, but whatever. But if I completed each one of those things, it would make me feel like a boss. It made me feel good about myself when I completed one thing or did one step to get to that one goal that got me closer. That's how you change the belief that you're not good enough and you're not smart enough and doggone it, nobody likes me, because that bitch comes, I don't know about you, but I've had this my whole life. It always comes out of somewhere and it starts in on me and she starts telling me I'm a big piece of shit. And these are the strategies that I used to silence her, to get back to the knowing that I am a great person. I am accomplishing something because I proved it to myself. So I did this. I did one thing that made me closer to my goal. I had family time goals. So one example from my boss list was read to my kids every single night. And so even if no matter what happened and there's a new hole in my wall and the day was a complete clusterfuck, if I read to them, every single night, the three of us, and we did our reading time, and that's how we ended the day, then I felt accomplished. That's what I needed to do to feel proud of myself. So what you need to do to be proud of yourself is going to be completely unique to you. So once you're changed that mindset from the beliefs and this downward spiral telling you you're worthless, you're too fat, you're too loud, like I did. I'm too loud, I'm too overwhelming, I'm not a good mom, I'm too big, my butt's too big, I'm too tall, my boobs aren't big enough. All that crap makes me feel like crap. If I identify the belief that is making me feel like crap, find every single thing that you can find in reality that proves that belief is false, and I would write them down, and do one thing that makes you feel proud of yourself. One thing. If it's taking the garbage out, anything that needs to be done makes you feel good because you accomplished it. And then you believe that you're awesome, you're a rock star, you're making progress, you're getting closer, he's on his way, God has a soulmate picked out for you already, and he's working on himself so he can get ready to be the best husband on the planet for you. And so if you put all of your focus on becoming the best person that you can be so you can attract the person that you've always wanted to be with, it's a win-win. Because every day you're doing something that makes yourself feel proud. You're building that self-worth and that self-confidence and that joy within yourself. You don't need to get it from somebody else. And as long as you have low self-worth and self-esteem and you don't feel good about yourself, then you'll keep attracting people who feel the same way about themselves. And then you'll keep falling for the fake love and the adoration and the compliments, and you'll go, oh, you think I'm pretty? Oh, you think that I'm nice? And oh, you think I'm smart? Well, that's not real love. That's nice to get compliments, but if you don't believe it yourself, then you're gonna fall for the people who are just trying to get something, or they have low self-esteem as well, and they're looking for outside sources to give them self-esteem. So the more that you practice silencing that inner bitch and proving her wrong and working toward your goals, the more you deserve someone awesome, and then you'll attract them. So thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And if you'd like to receive my newsletter, I send one every week-ish, and it has tips and strategies and blog posts. And if you'd like to sign up, just go to my website at mrskarenstanley.com. And I'm wishing you lots of love. Mwah.